Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Some of the most meaningful jewelry you own isn't new. It's inherited. A ring from a grandmother, a necklace full of memories, but no longer your style. Duke's Jewelers reimagines family heirlooms into custom pieces you'll actually wear and love. Working one-on-one, Duke's designers honor the original story while creating something fresh and modern. Don't let meaningful jewelry sit unused. Let it live on beautifully. Visit Duke's Jewelers in Springville or online at dukesjewelers.com, where old stories become new treasures.
Hey! This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself. I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday to you. Wait, it's Thursday. Some days Thursdays feel like Mondays. I'm just so glad we're already there at the Thursday mark. Sly Sylvester here for a second day in a row. He will be here tomorrow, and we'll make it a three-peat. That's a lot of red.
You know what?
That's a lot of red in the studio today.
It's the best way to kick off the best sports month in all of sports.
I cannot believe you still roll this out. I cannot believe you still roll this garbage out.
Come on.
And here's what's funny. You use against me because you know I love it. You use against me. You're like, plus I love the Masters. You're like, no, you don't.
No.
They're saying the Masters because you know it's an event that a lot of people watch.
You can't do the Masters in October.
This weekend, we're going to get Final Fours that are all blowouts. Just like we've gotten all freaking tournament long. So wait. Explain to me, Sly, again why April is better than October.
What is not going on?
What is not going on? Any relevant football. The only thing on planet Earth that matters.
Hey, I think Kirk Cousins would beg to differ.
Well,
controversy.
Yeah. Look, if you're going to hide behind the league year starting in March and be like, the league financial year started, it's like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm just talking about stuff that we all can get behind and watch and talk about. Right? As far as media members, as far as fans, something we're talking about to get excited about, have conversations with NBA playoffs, NHL playoff race. You got tennis that are getting started back up. You got, hey man, I like tennis. Don't you dare.
I'm calling your bluff so bad you threw out tennis.
Dare.
Tennis has no relevant major.
I said it's getting started back up.
Oh, you're a big ATP Tour guy?
I actually am. When I'm on the cardio machine at Lifetime Fitness, I love my screen. My screen is number 7. It's all tennis channel right there.
Shout out to the entire McEnroe family. I just love what you guys are about.
But there's so much stuff going on right now. You got March Madness that's coming to a close, but it's still at its peak with the Final Four. You got golf, as you suggested. You got pro days, all situationships. We just heard Napolis talking about his fantasy team, and Brock Bowers is being great because Thuggen Cousins is now in the Raiders uniform. You got Fernando Mendoza. There's just so much stuff to come around. I just don't know how you can argue with that. I love September. I love October.
The only thing that's going on in the NFL is contracts that guys probably don't deserve being signed. I will say that the negated contract by the Ravens from Max Crosby
was great.
That was fun. That was a fun time to follow it. Puka Nacua going full John Rocker was not expected.
Oh, he's going through his Robert Downey Jr. phase. Right now.
I'm going to take
not
everybody.
Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr.
He's like, I'm going to take everybody down. I'm going to say some stuff that allegedly is not good to say, but I'm also going to, like the alleged biting. Anyway, it's all a mess. And April's not good compared to October. October, college football's going on. October, baseball's in the World Series. October, the NFL is already 2-3 weeks in. NHL, 2-3 weeks in. What else are you talking about? The big four are there
You
on top of the
literally
fact
just said
that
4.
I know. Okay. Also, tennis is going on. Yeah, the Australian Open is.
You trying to tell me you don't like tennis?
No, I'm just saying if you want to talk about, dude, I'm not. Why am I arguing about this?
It just says sports.
April
I
is
just said
not-
sports. I didn't say football.
You played freaking in the NFL, and you're going to tell me April is better than October.
I mean, I'm playing. I wasn't watching. Playing's very different than watching, but as far as
your
me,
argument is null and void.
come on. We need a poll. Can we get a KSL poll nap?
No,
We
it's
need
not
a
even worth
KSL
it.
poll out there of what's the best month and give
Sports month. What's the best sports month? The
Yes.
equinox is the only time the sports equinox happens is in October when you have the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball all playing on one singular day. You find that's the sports equinox, which of course means you can't have something like that in April. I will say I love the Masters.
I don't know.
I like the Masters more than I like the World Series. But I will tell you that April is not it because there is no college football and there is no NFL, and those two things are not insignificant.
You got spring football. What are you talking about?
Okay. Spring football. What did Mitch say the other day? What did Mitch say the other day when he came on? He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Have they allowed you guys to watch anything?" And he goes,
No.
Well, there was a couple of there were 4 observation times that we got, and 2 of them, Kalani took him so far to the other end of the practice field he couldn't even see it through the binoculars. So you had that. Yeah, that's spring. Oh, football's back, baby.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
yeah, right.
I get you from that part, but I think my premise and what I'm going to with my narrative is it's so controversial right now.
Napolis, do you have thoughts on this? It can't be April, right? It cannot be April.
You cannot. What are you talking about?
I'm leaning towards October.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys
Now,
are
your
floozies.
precious MLS is fired up. The EPL's kind of going full tilt, right?
Think you get FIFA in October? No.
You didn't even know that there was soccer being played right
we were
now
just
in your
talking about
precious
the England
month.
game you had on the TV yesterday.
That was previously recorded in another month. That was in October. It was recorded in October. All right. I don't know. So, okay. I'm just going to look at it. Best sports month of the calendar. Okay. So this is just
I just
Siri.
love how riled up you get at this.
What are all the AIs?
I think he feels threatened.
What are all the
now.
AI people? You've got
ChatGPT?
You got Siri. You got all these other people.
Alexa.
Who's the Google person? Yeah, Alexa.
I think it's just Google.
No, Gemini. Boom, Gemini. Okay.
Boom.
Okay. October is the best month of sports, which
Who
is
said that?
AI. AI told me. It's the very first thing. October is widely considered the best sports month of the calendar. Sly.
Coerced.
Often referred to as the sports equinox because it's the only time the NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, NBA, and NHL seasons all
What did
overlap.
he just put in? What he typed up? It's literally what you just said.
All I put was best sports month of the calendar is definitely October. That's all I looked up. No, I didn't put anything about October. It says it. Other contenders, which is the category you are in, which means you're not in first place. Other contenders.
I'm in the conversation, buddy.
Highlighted by the Masters, Major League Baseball opening, NBA and NHL playoffs, and also the Final Four. It makes an effort. It is not it. It is not it. And by the way, NBA playoffs, we haven't even heard about those things in years. We don't even know what those are. We don't even know what those are anymore.
I love the NBA playoffs.
You don't watch regular first-round NBA playoffs unless
I
it's
sure the
on
heck do. I don't watch their season.
You watch the play-in tournaments?
I do. Playing tournaments is great. The
That's
first year.
because that's usually where your Lakers are. Although they're going to further up the ticket this year.
Wow. If Luka heard you right now.
What I do love is that the Lakers, by the way, so speaking of the NBA, Napolis, you had an update to our poll? Is that what is it?
You do have people chiming in the YouTube comments saying that November hits, and November is the month.
November is also in the quote-unquote other contenders.
Because of Turkey Day?
Late season college football, NFL, early season NBA, NHL. Okay? But
who likes the early season basketball, early season NHL?
I get it, because if you're not a baseball person, you could take MLB out of it and you don't feel good about it. You don't care.
Any other way.
You don't care. So I'm just saying, like, I get the most joy out of watching sports in the fall more than I do in the spring. And maybe that'll change with the NHL playoffs. Maybe our tune will change. And then next year, if the Jazz are what we thought they're going to be or what we think they're going to be, then we're talking about something different. It'll hit different if both of those franchises across the street are in their respective playoffs. I will agree. I will relinquish that will be a different level of April than we've gotten before. Here specifically.
You're talking about here.
October
I'm talking in general.
It.
If we were in Budapest, Wyoming, whatever the heck it is.
No, I think it is. I think you got it right.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Budapest, Wyoming, you got it.
If we're in Podunk, Montana, and nobody's able, you don't have a professional team, and you just watch sports to just watch sports.
Then it's October. By far.
Come on now.
Okay. Hey, good start. Now, I'm only doing this because I'm only arguing it this hardcore because Sly's going to use
Wimbledon.
No, that's July. So Sly's going to use the next portion of the show as we kick things off officially to do a victory lap, and I can't let him have two in the very first 15 minutes of the show.
I'm going to be eating Muddy Buddies as you.
Hey, the Nutty Buddies are in the fridge over here still. Annapolis, come on, man. Gotta get these. All right, we'll kick things off here officially. Let's talk Utah Jazz. Let's talk about what our guesses were on how the top four scorers for the Jazz were going to shake out in order, and we'll see how we did according to our guesses. Let's kick it off here with the cut.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Oh, guess who else entered the chat on my personal phone? Family member chimes in and goes, "You guys are both dead wrong. December is when the quality of football is the best, and when the NBA starts to have these like fun matchups that they curate for Christmas and all those."
You talk about in-season tournament?
No. Because they do like a
just because
NFL,
it's Christmas Day, you can't say a whole month is off of one day.
No. Like NFL triple header on Christmas Day, my guy. But plus you've got all the good bowl games mostly. You've got the first round of the college football playoffs now, and second rounds are mostly in December.
Now? It hasn't been played yet.
No, I'm saying now is in like now that we have the 12-team playoff, the first two rounds are in December.
Yeah, so you want to see JMU versus Oregon, and that's great football?
It's better than...
Better than what?
It's better than early season...
Better than spring ball at Utah football? Come on.
Okay. Tell me what Bird Ficklin looked like. Don't you love that? What did Bird Ficklin look like when he came to practice today? Can you describe him for me? That's our level of level of interaction
come on.
with the team. That's as much as they'll give us. All right, it's the cut. Let's just jump in here because I don't like the next part of this as we're going to get into Jazz because you're going to do a victory lap. Here we go. It's the cut. Let's do it. Oh, did you already play it?
See, okay, he just went back. He just gets distracted.
It's because I read that tweet. It's because I read the text. Sorry.
He's so threatened by April that he's losing all kind of composure
over
here.
I'm so pissed right now at both of you guys. I don't think you did play it. I think that this is a ruse. I think that you guys are all. Don't point at the screen. I don't need you to perpetuate this thing. I've been part of conspiracy theories before. I'm not going to play your game. All right. So, yes, there we are. We're kicking it off. So what did it look like last night? We were talking about how the players were going to shake out from a scoring perspective for the Utah Jazz. Got the job done, lost to the Nuggets, gave up 130 along the way. We've seen this before. Why is it? Is it the Nuggets have a bad matchup with the Jazz? Is that what it is?
It's all about matchups.
They were still playing them hard.
Just like the Mammoth versus the Black.
They did the same. They did the same thing that they did in Denver 2 games ago, which was hung around when the Nuggets are supposed to be winning it. They need these games. It's not that they have to have them in the playoffs, but you're kind of making your own destiny when it comes to home court advantage. It's like a game and a half separating you and 3 other teams. Right. So you need to. So I don't know what the matchup thing is, but this Jazz team kind of has the number of the Nuggets. Now that being said, the guesses that we had yesterday, and Annapolis threw them into the rundown here, so I've got them in front of me. These were verified? Okay. Alex Napolis, our producer, says it was going to go like this. Cody Williams, Flip.
What's the situation here? What are
scoring? It was just going to be how many points?
for the Jazz?
For the Jazz, in order. I gave you Cody Williams, Kyle Filipowski, Bryce Sensabaugh, and Ace Bailey. Napolis's guess on 1 to 4 on scoring last night was going to go Cody Williams, Flip, Ace, and Bryce. That's when you hit the... No, don't try to say you're the smartest man in the world. I didn't even... I was going to say, I wasn't expecting the sad trombones, so I was like, you know what? We do have sad trombones. Now, my guess...
Was also sad.
Ace, Bryce, Flip, Cody. Okay? On any other night, I think we would have been there. I don't know what happened last night.
See, you got to study. Who are they playing in? What was the last?
Oh, yeah.
I did all of that in the matter of 10 seconds while we were making this happen, right?
So, what was the actual order of the scoring then? Bryce Sensabaugh, number 1. Kyle Filipowski, number 2. And then it went Ace Bailey and Cody Williams.
Very close at the end there.
Sly had Bryce, Flip, Cody, and then Ace.
I am the smartest man alive!
Rizzuto.
Don't Rizzuto. We do not send. Don't send. First of all, if he's sending sound to you before the show, don't open it.
Oh no, that's perfect.
I don't like the
That
prep.
was
I don't like the
perfect.
prep.
Napolis, I loved it. The timing was awesome.
I've got a piece of sound I want to use for the show today. Don't.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
Couch. COR.
Play the,
You going to the mall later?
Why did you say an R on couch? Okay. The Jazz do get the win though.
No, they don't.
Yes, they did, because here's how it looks.
Official in the lottery now?
I don't know if it's official. Are they? Well, regardless, the better part is that the absolutely bottom of the barrel Sacramento Kings are playing basketball right now.
Yeah, they're only one game behind the Jazz.
The Jazz,
one game.
Well, more
behind.
importantly, the Jazz are just a game away from getting to them, and then there's a possibility they could catch up, fall below. What happens when you want to lose a race?
Depends on which way you want to.
I know. So catch up, so the Jazz are 21 and 56. The Kings are 20 and 57. And the Jazz lost last night. They have 5 games left. Okay? They have 5 games left. This is always and by the way, let me see here. How many more? Oh no, is it 4 left? Is it 4 left? Do they have one more at home? They have one more at home. Who are they playing at home? Oh, Memphis.
Oh,
At Houston. So at Houston, at OKC, at New Orleans, at the Lakers, and also Memphis at home. The Kings' remaining schedule, I like the Jazz's chances to just run the table of being beat down. Maybe Memphis. They might sneak one in there. The Kings, though, New Orleans, the Clippers, Golden State again, then Portland. I think the Jazz might beat Memphis. They might even sneak a win. You're going to have a couple of teams that are not going. So New Orleans and Memphis make me nervous. OKC and Houston and LA. LA's the last game of the season. You might see those teams shutting it down for the playoffs anyway, because Houston, OKC, and the Lakers are all going to be in non-play-in playoff series. Okay?
Oh, gosh.
So you might get shut down versions of those teams. You might see Bronny in that freaking game against the Jazz. That's a bad place to be if you're trying to lose that game. And of course, the Lakers would ruin something like that for the Jazz, wouldn't they?
No.
They're like, we will lose to you so that you don't get a better chance.
Lakers bench is nice. How about this playoff matchup right now? As it stands, right, you would have Denver versus Houston in a 7-game series. Then you have the Lakers versus the Timberwolves in a 7-game series. And then even the Spurs versus the Suns. I mean, Dylan Brooks is Dylan Brooks, but I like the way the Suns have been playing this year.
Yeah,
as far as a competitive series.
So here's the deal. The Utah Jazz right now are at the 5th spot, which means they could fall to 9, technically, number-wise, which I think is still less than a 1% chance, but I don't give a crap because the lottery does weird freaking things.
Oh, yeah.
We've been burned by it before. You can guarantee that you won't convey if you're in that 4th spot, which they are a game out of right now. Jazz currently on the longest losing streak in the league. Congrats. And
I don't even know how to look at this, right?
We are talking.
You're winning by losing
it.
is so bad.
We've embraced this because we have no idea how to handle it. And so we've been doing for the longest time that anybody has had to talk about the Utah Jazz on the radio in this market, we have been talking about the Jazz being this bad for longer than anybody has had to do that. This franchise is just not used to it. And so we're not used to it. So now when I've leaned into it and I finally brought myself around, and we're like all in on talking about losing games and doing everything you can possible to try to get that number 1 overall pick. If you get A.J. DeBonsa, oh my goodness. So just know that the A.J. DeBonsa pick and the Cam Boozer pick, those are not going your way, Utah. The more important thing is stay between 4 and 7, or 8's the official one after 8. Just stay in there. It would be an absolute gut punch if they got 6, 7, or 8. I think you can expect a 3-4-5 or maybe even a 4-5-6 for the Jazz. They've got the 5th worst record in the league. So that's about where they're going to end up if we just go by the numbers. And I think that we all can see that going by the numbers in the draft or in the lottery, it doesn't work out for the Jazz. Just know that, okay? I'm too pessimistic. I've watched this freaking game before. This team got a $500,000 fine from the league when everybody else was doing the exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
Do you think Adam Silver, if there is a conspiracy, would be pulling for the Jazz? I don't freaking think so. So I'll take that conspiracy theory too. I don't like any of it. Now, you're developing your guys. I think what's really cool about this is that these guys are they're getting minutes that you can't buy this type of experience. It had to be a perfect storm, which the Jazz have been in for a couple of years, for these guys to be able to get the type of development minutes that they've been getting. So look at it from the bright side there. It's great. They would have never gotten these minutes. NBA minutes matter. Being on the court in an NBA game matters. Being on the court that long. Scoring like they've been scoring, every one of these dudes we were talking about, they have had phenomenal nights, and not just a night, but multiple nights for all of them across the board. They've been exceptional in some games. And that's what you like about this, because now you have your picking of guys who you want to keep on that roster and roll to whatever role they're going to play on the team in the future. And you can say, look, that guy developed faster than we thought. Kyle Filipowski, to me, is a guy that's probably done the most growing up of that group. What do you think? Do you think that's true? I think Flip has had the biggest turnaround. Now, I think other guys have bigger or taller ceilings. Obviously, Ace is out of the conversation because he's going to be phenomenal. I don't look at that. But between Cody Williams, Flip, and Bryce Sensabaugh, the most growing this year, I think, has been Flip.
You think?
Bryce has been pouring it in more than other people.
Cody's development has been awesome.
I think that there are things that they are still very worried about with that young man. And
you got to be worried about with everybody with a record like that.
Yeah,
but
I think Flip did a good job. Well, I guess maybe my expectations were way low.
Flip's confidence is what I would appreciate, and what I can contest that is in the mix for making the biggest jump. I actually like that he has put in his starter capabilities for this team next year. If he wanted to go in there making all these adjustments as far as staying with this team, him and Keontae, of course, have made huge jumps. But Flip, I like his confidence in the way that he's been playing, that it doesn't matter. I'm still going to get mine, and I know where I fit in my skill set.
When was the last game that Key played in? I had that thought, and I was just like, I don't know even when the last game that he played was.
I think they shut him down like a month ago.
Yeah.
Felt like.
Oh, yeah. Let me see here. I've got it in front of me. I just have to. Oh, geez. He's only played in 54 games. 54 games this year. Think about what he's done in those 54 games, too, by the way. Phenomenal. 23.6. March 11th, we're going on a full almost month now.
Yeah.
Coming up by the end of the season. So it's been a month since he's played. I think they already know what they got with him. Now, from a team perspective, Keontae George has been the biggest revelation this season. So those are all good things. We'll see how the rest of this one goes. And you got 5 games left, Jazz fans. Press on. Come on. It's the last part of the marathon. Let's do it. We're going to take a break. We have more to go right around the corner. Stay here. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.
Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Well, you knew it was going to happen. We were going to start getting body cam footage and back of the police cruiser footage of Tiger Woods. And it happened. Now, Tiger checked into rehab. Glad for him. Apparently, they did find some hydrocodone in his pocket. I will say I watched the body cam and I was like, they're the professionals. It seemed like he was cooperating really well. It wasn't about not cooperating. It seemed like he was semi with it, mostly with it. Yeah, it was just from the body cam footage that I saw. But him in the back of the cruiser is it's a pretty sad group of pictures. Napolis before the show goes, he went through all of it. He did all the emotions. And they did. It looked like it's like a flip book of like the cartoon of like, and his face went from like just dead staring straight, 1,000-yard stare to closing his eyes, putting his head back like, ugh, to actual rage screaming in the back of that cruiser. Not at anybody, just because he knows.
So what's to come with it?
The poop storm that was going to be approaching.
Poop storm.
We talked about Andy Dufresne earlier in the week. We don't need to revisit it. Or as Napolis likes to call him, Andy Duchesne. So.
Oh, my God.
Worried about our future. So I saw the pictures. I feel bad for Tiger. The PGA Tour came out. He's not going to be the captain of the Ryder Cup team next year. But they also came out and said, "Hey, this guy's meant so much to our sport, and we just wish the best for him." Give him a chance. So, and it's not I give him a chance. He's had
plenty,
a few too many chances. I mean, not too many. Everybody deserves a second chance, third chance. It's fine.
8,
but
9.
In his case, it's just it was never going to be a good situation because it's just going to get magnified times 1,000. So, bad deal. Hey, Stevenson Sylvester to my right, and he's sitting in for JJ.
You don't say.
Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Look at all the red, dude.
Hey, man. It's how I live.
Now, of course,
I feel like Tyrone Biggums with this beanie on, though. Give me some red balls.
You know what's crazy is that it actually is an appropriate beanie day.
It is. It is.
Perfect for all you families out there enjoying spring break. It was 90 last week or whatever, and then now it's coming down snow during your spring break. You're welcome. Thanks, Mother Nature, for nothing.
If you're a real kid, you'll still be out there.
Who sings the Sunglasses at Night song? Is it Valiant Thieves? Is that who it is?
No.
Who's it?
Yeah, as many times as we played that, you don't.
I always forget.
It's Corey Hart.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Come on now.
Sorry. All right.
Napolis, are you with this guy?
Sorry.
Is he on hydrocodone?
No. I pulled Annapolis. And I had the wrong pop culture reference. Sorry. Let's talk a little bit about this article that was written about the retention in college football's transfer portals.
Mm-hmm.
So the question was asked, and then they went and dove into the actual data. How often do first or second team conference players transfer? Data from this very portal cycle right now noted a massive divide on the conferences. Okay? G6 conferences, if you're a first or second team,
much all of them.
70.5% transfer. 70.5 all conference performers transfer. That's a ton. If you're a G6, the money you already know. You're giving yourself a raise if you're on one of those all conference teams, likely, right?
P4 teams, yeah.
The P4 conferences are pretty interesting. If you are a first and second team all conference player in the Big 12 or the ACC, the average is 43.2%. Almost half. From the Big 12 and the ACC. Why? Because over the Big 10 and the SEC, they average, if you were an all-conference player in the SEC, 2.6%.
Where the money at?
Where's
the money at?
It's
that is wild.
It is the disparity is crazy.
It's huge.
And if
G6, I kind of understand.
Of course. But the ACC and the Big 12, 43.2% for the Big 12 and the ACC, and then 2.6 for the SEC and the Big 10. So a group of 6 player is almost 2.5 times more likely to transfer than a Power 4 all conference selection would. So the money difference between the G6 over to the SEC, and by the way, some G6 guys go to the SEC, right?
Right.
So you give yourself a massive raise, and then you give yourself, and why wouldn't you? That's what we all do. You look for whatever the next thing is, because when are these kids going to be making money? You have no idea. You know,
money
when
like
is the next time you're going to be able to make money?
Like this.
A lot of these guys aren't even playing. They're not even playing football after this. They're done, right? So a lot of, and then they also did the math, and they said, hey, most Power 4 rosters cost at least 14 to 16 million. But the highest end is there are multiple that are past the $30 million mark, and there are, according to this study, several teams that are expected to approach 40 million in this cycle this year.
Wasn't that 40, a Coach Witt statement here?
He said 50.
He said 50?
Yeah, and he was saying it like it was almost like, he goes, in the near future. It still sounded like it was something like, today. In 2030. No, but like.
That's today.
You're going to see, yes, you're going to have people at 40 million. And the only reason they're only at 40 million, I think they gradually want to just keep making it acceptable little by little. Because if you're a $65 million roster, which some of these guys could definitely be, they could just say, dude, we're just going to blow you out of the water. We're going to get a $70 million roster. They could do that. I think that it comes with a weird price, which is you pay that $70 million, and we've seen teams that don't have the same resources still be better teams, right?
Right. That doesn't make a team.
Singular players in football make less of a difference than singular players in basketball do. And so you have to spread that money a lot more across a football roster than you do a basketball one. But these numbers are absolutely insane.
What happened to the $20 million at school regulation?
That's on rev share. So the rev share of $20 million, this is just NIL money. We're talking just free money wherever.
So why did everybody make such a big deal about
that? Because it's still a significant chunk, and that chunk is significant for schools like BYU and Utah because they are like, hey, we both have the full $20 million that we're going to be able to share among the athletic department, however they're going to do it. Mm-hmm. They have to split it up, football, basketball, everything, Olympic sports, all of it. And so that number stays the same. You can't go over that. If you go over that, the punishments are massive fines, huge numbers, just to try to discourage it. But a team can blow right past
and still get a Cody Campbell.
Cody Campbell could have made. Texas Tech will probably be the first one on the list to get to that $50 million. You know what I mean? So
that guy loves him some Texas Tech.
Oh yeah, and why wouldn't you? It's just it's a wild thing to watch. It's a wild thing to watch develop. Power 4 teams. So here's what I said: Group of 6 teams retained only 25.8% of the players that were first team selections. The Power 4, on average, kept 81.8. Mm-hmm. But that's because the numbers are like, I mean, you can say that the SEC was almost 90% when it comes to if you are a first-team player at Alabama, you're probably sticking around. For more reasons than just the football part where it's like, I'm already one of the best schools. I'm also getting paid more than anybody else. What am I going to do? Give myself a raise? Now, some of these schools do call these guys. Think about the back and forth that they had with that linebacker at Clemson and Ole Miss and LSU. Yeah. And it's Clemson and Ole Miss. I said LSU because I just assumed it was Lane Kiffin. He's such a dude. He's such a dude. He's such a great guy. So what it's saying is something that I think we all knew, but it's nice to have the data.
Yeah.
These group of 6 kids are giving themselves a big chance.
Yeah.
And the Power 4 and these Power 4 conferences, there's also
giving, but taking. It's not guaranteed to be accepted.
No, for sure. For sure. And they'll jump in the portal, and I think it's on a little bit of a prayer in some of these cases.
It's on a whim.
You don't think? I bet a lot of them are, hey, man, wink. Love to see you in blue.
I just hate that because it's not guaranteed.
Oh, for sure. Some guy. But this is why coaches don't want they don't want to shake hands with the players. They just tell them to go off the field because they're like, they're not going to recruit my guys. Nobody's having a spring game because you don't want anybody to get recruited because, hey, it looked like you had a good spring, son.
I don't want nobody to Baltimore Ravens.
BYU's okay to Luave? No, he's terrible. He's been awful. I don't even know how he plays. Just start dogging all your guys that are your dudes. No, Isaiah Glasker lost a step. That's what I'm looking for with
Morgan.
Isaiah Glasker lost a step.
Yeah.
LJ Martin forgot the playbook. Poor kid.
The entire book.
I heard Devin Dampier and Bert Figler are fighting. Their relationship wasn't as good as we thought it was. Yeah, I would start a misinformation campaign so people wouldn't call.
All right.
Come on, man.
Why not?
All right, let's take a break.
If that's what people are doing to get these kids is going off of intel that's been public knowledge, I wouldn't put anything out there.
No. Me neither. When we come back, we have a Would You Rather. Top of the hour, it is Mammoth game day. You know what that means? Mike Folta's up in Seattle. He's going to give us some thoughts as the radio play-by-play voice of the Mammoth. Give us some, these next 2 games are big. And I watched a wild hockey game last night. It was my favorite game that I've ever watched in the history of hockey that wasn't a Mammoth game. I'll tell you about it next. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.
Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on Carvana. Delivery fees may apply.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. You've sent so many emails to your tax pro and nothing. It feels like you're chasing updates. But now your taxes are done for you by a TurboTax expert, so you actually know what's happening. You can match with an expert and just hand off all your tax stuff to them right in the app. So instead of guessing, you can feel confident your TurboTax expert's on it. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Visit TurboTax.com to learn more. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Listen, everybody! Real-life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Next hour, beginning of the hour, Mike Folta is going to join us from Seattle. The Kraken, they've had a rough couple outings here recently. They hit Seattle tonight. Then they're on a bus up to Vancouver. They won't take the bus. But maybe, I don't know. There's a boat that goes from Seattle up to Canada. It's called the Victoria Clipper. Now, it's a high-speed.
I was about to say, yeah, they're taking public transport.
No, you could charter it. You could charter this. It's a high-speed boat. They call it the Clipper because it just flies up Puget Sound. I bet they're going to take in the sights before they get up to Vancouver. By the way, Vancouver's freaking playing good hockey right now. And they still have the worst record in the league, but they beat the Avalanche last night 8-6. I watched the entire thing. It was wild. You got goalies being pulled. You got, as soon as and this was at the Avalanche too, by the way. 8-6. I've never seen a hockey game in my life that was like that. Wire to wire, I watched it. I was just fascinated. Colorado's got some real problems. They're the best team by far in the NHL, 5-on-5. They kill people. The goal differential is like 100 or something. It's like so huge. But they give up shorthanded goals, the most in the league. They aren't great on the penalty kill. They have one of the worst power plays in the league. But they just score all day. It's crazy. I'm not saying that but still hang on to the wild card one, please, Mammoth, so we don't have to face those guys in the first round. I said we, but nobody wants to see that unless you score 8 goals against them. You have to score 8 goals against them, otherwise you'll lose. All right, I got a would you rather. You're a lawn guy. We're talking about how much you love your green grass.
Oh yeah, man.
You're gonna walk out.
Nice cold weather right now is perfect for my lawn.
He's all dialed up. He's all aerated.
Oh yeah.
On the lawn.
Got my chest poked out to my neighbors.
He's ready. That's exactly right. The neighbors are ready to watch this. Okay. So you have one chance.
Only one?
You have one chance to have the iconic lush green grass of the Masters or that perfectly cut, crisp grass at Wimbledon. At Wimbledon, they have that before the tournament starts because usually they beat it all up by the end. You're taking the green grass of Augusta. You're taking those historic and perfectly mowed lawns there at Wimbledon.
Here's the question: what month is this in?
You suck. I'm going to call you when the Australian Open when the Australian is live and it's like 4 a.m. I'm calling you. Oh, you're a tennis guy? I thought you were a tennis guy, Sly.
Yeah.
You love tennis. Watch it with me.
I will, man.
It's April, obviously. It's the Masters, April.
Right. What month is that in? No, I'm definitely taking the Masters. That's not even close. The Masters is beautiful.
When it's first cut and no one's playing on it at Wimbledon,
I could smell the grass through the TV.
They try to make it like that.
Right. They
pipe in the fake birds. You got the guy on the piano. I assume it's Chubb. I assume it's Chubb.
Are you talking about the Masters or Happy Gilmore?
No, Chubb's on the piano. No, I would love, may he rest, Carl Weathers. But
yes,
during his day, if we could have, somebody splice over the Masters music to him in that scene when Happy's in his happy place.
They needed to
Please
do that.
Right.
They needed to do that.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to Mike Folta. He's the radio play-by-play voice of the Utah Mammoth. More to go right around the corner, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
The exclusive home of the Utah Mammoth is on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Marino to the front, they score! It's tapped in by Alexander Kerfoot, and the Mammoth are off and running here in L.A. Floating one into Cooley. He tries to dance in, and he scores! What a goal from Logan Cooley! And all of Hollywood can only stop and stare. Kerfoot drags, holding up traffic. Kerfoot shoots and they score! Kerfoot's got a pair tonight, and it's 4-1.
You're locked into JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Kirry here. JJ's out of town this week, and that means Sly Sylvester, former Pittsburgh Steeler, former Utah Ute. I couldn't tell you were a Ute by what you were wearing today. All red, all this time. Plus the sunglasses in a windowless studio, no problem. Sly's got you covered. We do have a guest we got to get to. You know why? Because he's on the road with the Mammoth, as he is wont to do. He is the radio play-by-play voice of the Utah Mammoth. He's Mike Folta. Mike, what's going on, man?
Oh, Alex, Sly, I'm good, guys. I did not even bring sunglasses, Sly, on this trip because we are here in the gloomy Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Vancouver, where the sun never shines until today. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Seattle, and we've got some Mammoth hockey later tonight.
Corey Hart would definitely frown at you.
Oh, well, listen, yeah, you gotta wear your sunglasses in the old hotel room. Mike, hey, my old stop. This is my place of growing up where you're at right now in Seattle. I'll actually be up there this weekend, so I'll miss.
How big of a name was Sean Kemp, by the way?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so. Help me. Let's get the Sonics back into Key Arena as quick as possible. I know it's not called Key Arena anymore, but like I walked. So my high school graduation, you walk at Key Arena, like so you're there, and you have all these banners up, you know. And Sean Kemp, when it comes to people who could throw down and posterize people, he was one of the best. Underrated. The guy flew. Dominique was like this. Mike, of course, had it, but it was like. They had this crazy, like, last-second power, just like it felt like it rocked the entire place. And so, yeah, you think about your GPs and your.
There's a mural we drove by just a little bit ago where it's on the side of Sean Kemp's cannabis store. Funny enough, and I'm like, how Seattle can you possibly?
I know.
And but it's this mural of Sean Kemp dunking, and prominently featured is Michael Jordan with like his mouth agape. Right. Like it's a mural of Sean Kemp, but like one of the first things you see after you see like the Seattle green and yellow is Michael Jordan like his jaw on the floor. So it was kind of, I was like, isn't that a Bulls jersey? Oh, he's just in awe of Sean Kemp.
It is. He was phenomenal. He was tall too. So he had bounce and he was long. He was phenomenal. Anyway,
definitely on the Rushmore.
I'm excited. Normally I wouldn't go this long talking about it because there was no chance they were coming back. But I think that now because the vote is ongoing, expansion is almost like you just have to have $7 billion, Mike, to get into the NBA.
That's all.
As an expansion these days. Yeah, it is. But that's all it takes. And I think Seattle has missed their Sonics, so hopefully they bring them back. Hey, you guys are up there. Obviously, the Kraken and the Mammoth tonight, a big one. I was texting a friend last night because I watched that Canucks-Avs game wire to wire last night. 8-6. It was phenomenal. It was just back and forth. And I text my buddy, I go, of course, Vancouver's putting some stuff together right now, right before the Mammoth come to town. Like this time of year, I don't care who you are. If you made some changes at the trade deadline and you're getting your guys on the ice, you want to get them all better. Everybody wants to beat everybody right now. There's nobody's taking a back seat, and that's why it scares the heck out of me.
Yeah, we see this every year, and it's not just hockey. I mean, it happens in other sports too, but especially in hockey. You get these teams that are unshackled from expectations, unshackled from the hope of playoffs even. And even the teams at the bottom of the barrel will play a loose and free game, and they'll dust up teams that are actually playing for something. And I was talking with Bear head coach Andre Turney about this maybe last week, and he hit the rewind button all the way back to, I think it was 2022 in Arizona, when the Coyotes were at the bottom of the league. I mean, like dead bottom of the league. And they're playing Nashville and Dallas in the last two games of the season. These are two teams that are scratching and clawing, trying to get every point they can for seeding. They were literally battling with each other for seeding in the playoffs. They had to win. And what do you know? The lowly Coyotes beat them twice. And the Coyotes kind of screwed themselves out of the first overall pick. Now, it ended up being okay because they take Logan Cooley third overall that year. They probably would have taken him first overall that year anyway. But that was just an example from Bears memory of, like this time of year, even the worst teams in the league can still win games against the teams that are playing for something.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's never over. You know, there's other teams that are like, if we're tanking, we're full tanking. We know it's over. We're not even going to give it a chance. But that's a different case with hockey, especially these mentality of guys, especially guys that are losing teeth every night. They're just like, no nights off. No nights off.
No, for sure.
But you were in the building for that Crypto.com Arena LA Kings game the other week. It's 4 days it's been off. Of course, there's a lot to take from that. But how good did the boys look? And you know, as for getting ready for tonight, how is that going to transition?
The boys look really good, and they look good in front of Will Ferrell too. Sly, he was allegedly in the building.
He's a big Kings guy. Is he minority owner or something, or is he just?
I think he just has glass seats.
Awesome.
And so we were getting texts that Will Ferrell was right next to our video staff, but no, they looked really good. And to be honest, the Kings did not look good Saturday night, but the Mammoth looked really good. And head coach Andre Tourney and defenseman Nate Schmidt, they called it a blueprint game. And so you score 6 goals, you think, okay, the blueprint is offensively. Nope, they were talking about the way the Mammoth played in the defensive zone against the likes of superstars like Artemi Panarin and Anze Kopitar and some really good players that the Mammoth just totally shut down the other night in LA. Now, the problem, or what has been the problem, is that Utah has struggled a little bit coming off of big breaks. Mammoth are 0-3 this year. On 4 or more days of rest, coming off Christmas break, after the Olympics, things like that. So it'll be some work to do. There'll be some work to do to kind of get back into rhythm tonight against the Kraken team that is still holding on to hope. It's a slim hope, but they have a puncher's chance in what has been a turtle race in the Western Conference wildcard pursuit.
Yeah, and the Pacific Division especially is just a mishmash of who wants to win this week, and it's kind of interesting to watch all those back and forth with all those teams. Obviously, holding on to the wild card one for the Mammoth is the best shot for them to win some games in that first round, and possibly, although, you know, the Avs showed if you score 8 goals against them, you should be all right. So I was watching that game, and I'm watching all these teams, and you just see the intensity starts to pick up. The big names show up. How big of a deal will it be to get that those first and second lines and those big names involved early? Because when those guys are scoring, it seems like it fires everybody else up too.
Yeah, it does. And our good friend Adrian Denny, who does our pregame, postgame intermission on the radio, he has this stat that he likes, and it's a team's record when this guy scores a goal. And for the Mammoth, it's like 17-1-0 or something like that when Clayton Keller scores a goal. And look, guys, I went to the Harvard of the Midwest, an accredited land-grant university. I took a lot of stats classes, and I'm trying to tell Adrian, nobody on the team has a losing record when they score. Scoring goals helps your team win.
Of course.
Of course you have a winning record when you score. It helps you win. Nobody has a losing record. But it is, in Adrian's defense, it is hard to ignore the correlation between the team success and this individual success of guys like Keller and Schmaltz, especially those two. When those two have gone through downturns, like they did a little bit in November, and like they did even a little bit a few weeks ago, the team struggled as well. Now, this is, with the exception of the injury to Barrett Hayden, this is a pretty healthy Mammoth group. We saw Alexander Kerfoot chip in a couple goals on Saturday. And so I think you're seeing that depth scoring coming through more and more. But there is a pretty good correlation between the success of the big dogs and the team's wins and loss record.
Yeah, so what are you expecting from the Kraken tonight? We were talking about the end of the season and that race and how everybody's really neck and neck and fighting for these wild card positions and getting in. The Kraken with 9 games left, they're coming off of 2 losses. Are you expecting them to be hyped and kind of making this happen? Of course, it's a home game for them, but what are you expecting out of the Kraken tonight?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the home aspect, Sly, because they had just been on a 6-game road trip, and it was like a 2-week trip too. So they're really excited to be back home. And look, it's a Kraken team that really, ever since they entered the league in 2021, they just haven't had that star power. They haven't had a Logan Cooley or a Dylan Gunther or somebody electric offensively. They've been missing that, so they've had to get it done by committee. And that can be hard to defend at times because there's not as many guys up front that you're circling and saying, we have to stop this guy. But it makes it harder for them to get going offensively. And we've seen that this year. They're the second worst team in the league since the Olympic break. Like they've really struggled the last couple months. Excuse me. But like I said, they're coming home after an extended break. They've gotten relatively decent goaltending for most of the year. And what's unique about Seattle is they have these defensemen, Brandon Montour, Vince Dunn, who are very active. So those guys can break down plays, break you down in the defensive zone, and they can make it easy for you to lose coverage. So the Mammoth have to be really good about keeping their wingers high and above those defensemen that like to wander, because that's how Seattle creates a lot of problems.
You have these teams that are just, a couple of points separate them in the Pacific, and in the wild card especially. The Mammoth have a 4-point lead with the same amount of games that they've played as the Los Angeles Kings. You feel all right about that, but when Macklin Celebrini brought the Sharks back last night, I was like, okay, I didn't want to have that added. Another team with 77 points. The Preds have 77. The Kings have 78. And everybody's just looking at Utah and trying to pick them off.
Right.
Of those teams, which one's the most likely? You've seen all these teams all year. Which one's the most likely that you look at and you're like, I'm the most scared of that team right now?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, Connor McDavid called the Pacific Division a pillow fight for a reason. Like none of these teams can get out of their own way. And that includes guys, the teams that are the top 3 in the Pacific, not just the wild card teams. That's a great question though, Alex, because I don't look at any of these teams as being better than the Utah Mammoth. I tell you what though, a few teams below the cut line sit the Winnipeg Jets at 76 points.
I know.
They are 2 teams, or they are 2 points out of the second wild card spot. Would be pretty hard for them to catch the Mammoth. They're 6 points back of Utah. It'd be hard for any of these teams to catch the Mammoth, but especially Winnipeg. But I tell you what, the Winnipeg Jets have the best goalie in the world, Connor Hellebuck. Won a gold medal with Team USA earlier this season, stealing the show against Team Canada in one of the best goaltending performances we've seen in recent memory. They're starting to figure it out a little bit. They've kind of been up and down, but they have points in 8 of their last 10. They've won 6 of their last 10. And if none of these other teams can figure it out, which has been the status quo throughout the year, like the Winnipeg Jets, who have won 2 in a row now, like they could easily be in that second wild card spot and pushing Utah. I don't think they would catch Utah, but pushing Utah and making the Mammoth sweat a little bit at the end of the year. So that's a team that you can't write off. Winnipeg, they were the best team in the regular season last year, guys.
Right.
And they went from best team in the regular season to a potential lottery team this year. And I don't think they're as bad as their record says they are. So that's a team I look at. Realistically, though, if you're just looking at the math, I mean, LA has the best chance simply because they're closest. I don't trust San Jose any further than I can throw them. Nashville is all these teams were like trading away players at the deadline, right? It's a very confusing year. So it would be hard for the Mammoth to give up that number 1 spot, but I say that really all it takes is one bad week and all of a sudden you're right back in that pillow fight.
Is there a version of, I think that NHL teams get it's such a close matchup. I think people are afraid of the Avalanche because that's a rare exception to feeling like, okay, that team's going to run away with it. But there's no version of that because you have, I think it was the Jets a couple of years ago had, the best, they're one of the best teams and then they get upset in the first round. Like it doesn't really matter once the playoffs start. But as you look at it, if in the Pacific Division, is it just the number 1 team out of the Pacific who faces the wild card one? And if that's the case between the Ducks and the Oilers, which one do you want?
Yeah, it's so the first 2 rounds, it goes by the divisional seeding, and then actually the rules change once you get to the the conference finals where home ice could flip based on who was better in the regular season. But the Mammoth, if they stay in wild card 1, they would play through the Pacific Division. They would be in that pod basically with those other 3 teams, which is right now Anaheim, Edmonton, and Vegas. We got some analytics from our friends over at SportLogic a couple days ago that told us that the Mammoth would be favored analytically. I don't know what the betting markets would say, but they would be favored analytically over Anaheim and Vegas, and it'd be close to 50-50 with Edmonton. It'd be close to 50-50 with all 3 of those teams, but pretty cool for Utah to be potentially favored in a playoff matchup. Speaking of betting, which I know you can't do in the state of Utah, but this was in some game notes that I saw. You actually can't even place a wager on the Mammoth to win that top wildcard spot anymore. That's how confident the books are that Utah will be in that top wildcard spot. Like you can't even.
I love it, but I hate it. I love it, but I hate it. It's all like we've seen meltdowns before across every sport. I don't care what sport it is. I've watched everybody blow it, and there are some people right now in the state of Utah that just feel like Utah teams can't have nice things, and I think the Mammoth are like, it's a hope that we have right now that we haven't had for a minute, and that for me is the part where I'm like, just hang on there, and let's say maybe they get to a second series, and then who knows what happens after that. Maybe that's poor form, Mike, to be looking that forward, but I'll look at it like I'm a glass half full guy. That's what we're talking about.
As fans, we're allowed to. And look, the Anaheim Ducks are an extremely young team that the Mammoth have beaten as much as they've lost to. You take that matchup. You're fine with that. You feel like you can win that matchup. The Edmonton Oilers have been a mess goaltending wise. They are a little bit worn down, all the hockey they've played the last few years. Sure, they have the best player in the world, maybe the 2 best players in the world, but they haven't been very good defensively or goaltending wise. And the Vegas Golden Knights just fired their coach like 2 sleeps ago. So there are flaws to each of those 3 Pacific Division teams that you could something like that. I mean, I don't take a lot of naps, Sly. I don't know about you and that.
Well, I'm glad we talked about it because this is exactly where I wanted to go. I mean, let's go back to Vegas here. We're at Caesars, right? You just cashed in some chips. Is the Mammoth going to host a playoff game this year? In your opinion, is the Mammoth going to have one at Delta Center this year?
Oh yeah, I don't even think that's a hot take. I think for us to miss the playoffs would take. I mean, I don't even want to speak what that would take into existence. Like we are in a really good spot right now.
Good.
We're planning, like on the radio side, like we're planning for playoff hockey. Hey, what are our shows going to look like in the playoffs and stuff like that?
Oh, Sly just punched the purchase button after you said that.
I'm telling you, that's what a lot of Utah Mammoth fans are talking about. We're talking about like Winnipeg Jets or Dark Horse.
Give me those tickets.
We've seen bad weeks, this and that. There's like, can we punch our ticket or what? Can I go to the store right after the show here and get me a new Mammoth jersey? Like, what's going to happen here?
Man. Hey, hurt people. Like, believe. Believe. It's okay. This isn't Toronto. This isn't Edmonton. This isn't one of those like really negative Canadian markets that thinks the sky is falling all the time. This is Utah. This is the land of opportunity. The Mammoth are here and they're dancing, baby.
This is life elevated here, folks.
So
you've got life elevated. That's right.
You've got yourself a couple of big ones right in the Pacific Northwest coming up here tonight. Seattle Kraken. On Saturday, you're going to get the trip up to Vancouver, one of my favorite places on the planet. Also to be. These are awesome places. I'm jealous that you're up there, although I'll be in Seattle on this weekend as well, visiting some family. So we'll just miss each other, but I'll be watching hockey the whole time. Mike Folta, radio play-by-play of the Mammoth. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys. Tuss up.
There you go.
Oh, that's a great tagline. I can't believe my wife hated on that tagline. I like that. Tusks up. Love that. I like to talk smack with tusks up.
When you go to a Jazz game and you see the tusks up in the rafters, you're like, just drop them on the midcourt. I just want to see. Maybe that could get some juju going on for the Jazz. They run out of the tusks one of these nights for the intros.
That'd be dope.
So, all right. Dope. Our conversations about hockey, of course, on these days brought to you by the good folks at Hercules First Federal Credit Union. Growing stronger together. We'll come back. We have more around the corner. We got ourselves a couple things to jam on. One, an awesome clash between the Big 12 commissioner and maybe the most powerful man, the other most powerful man in Texas. We'll talk about it next.
Scrooge McDuck down in Texas.
Right around the corner, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jamming out to some Stevie Wonder there. Riding on the wall. There you go. Big no-no in radio. Don't care.
Nobody wants to hear your voice.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we got to have a karaoke.
I'm just trying to have fun here. Just trying to have fun here, all right?
It's the month of April. Why not?
I've always said the month of April for karaoke is the best. There's no other one, okay? All right, here's what we have. I've got in front of me our winner of this week's Beehive Meals Hero of the Week program. We've told you about this. We do this every week. KSL Sports and Beehive Meals get together. We honor people that impact the youth sports in our communities. You go to kslsports.com/contests, and you get yourself a nomination opened up for somebody. And every Thursday, we read those winners off. That's today. And then Beehive Meals, of course, hooks them up with $250 of Beehive Meals as well. Not bad. The nominator this week is Wendy and I, and the winner is Nathalie Lessa. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Nathalie Lessa. Nathalie serves our Timpview High School football program year-round, coordinating team dinners, service projects. See, I love this stuff. Guest speakers, community partnerships that directly support the development of our student athletes. She works closely with the head football coach and the athletic administration, deeply inclusive in her approach with engaging parents, supporting all levels of the program, creating opportunities of families to be involved. She's made a priority and personally knows every player in the football program, building genuine relationships with over 100 student athletes. Her impact extends beyond football. Nathalie is pleasant, optimistic, service-driven, and inclusive. Her dedication, leadership, and selfless commitment make her an invaluable part of the Timpview athletic community. That's phenomenal. There's always somebody that's making those wheels turn. And people like Nathalie Lessa, who won this week's Beehive Meals Hero of the Week, we love being able to honor those folks. So she'll get a shout out on our social media pages, and she'll get $250 to Beehive Meals. So congratulations. And thank you, Wendy and I, for the nomination as well. You can do this yourself. Go to kslsports.com/contests, and you can nominate somebody right there for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. Hey, now, this is fun. If this is what you meant about college football, quote unquote, being in April, spring ball, man. Okay. This counts
roll
as
up the sleeves, baby. Let's get in the ring.
I will say this. This counts as entertaining. This counts as a little bit of drama. I like it. Brett Yormark. I think Brett's middle name is, he's got a little bit of trouble. He's trouble. He likes to fire it up. He's a ball of energy. He's 5'0" 100 as they say in Rudy.
Don't tell him that.
I know. He is an absolute spark plug. Now, arguably the biggest donor for any program in the entire country, and in terms of, it's not just the donations. It's also that he is the chairperson of like of Texas Tech University system. And so he's the chair at a school. He played there. He has billions of oil dollars, and he is making an impact. This guy single-handedly with his donations and the firing up of his other friends to get involved too, former alumni.
The Big 12 conference last year.
They are a force to be reckoned with. Make no mistake about it, Texas Tech will keep this thing going for a while because they have, by the way, Joey McGuire he's a great coach. Mm-hmm. And I think that they have everything going for them. Monetary support, a place that just keeps growing. They have like famous alumni that are in the league. That is a huge thing for them. Plus they have the money to be able to pay. So all that being said, Cody Campbell's more than just a booster, which I think sometimes what Brett Yormark might see him as, and a lot of people do. But because he's the chairperson of the Board of Regents for Texas Tech, like that's not insignificant. And so when he got on Twitter and the Big 12 had mentioned that the game between Houston and Texas Tech, I think it was going to be played in Lubbock, right, Annapolis? Isn't that where it was going to be played in Lubbock?
Yes.
For this year, they are considering and are likely going to move it to a Friday night game. Now, why is that? Because Brett Yormark is a businessman first. He's no respecter of
other communal things.
He's not trying to shoot anybody down. He's not trying. You know what he does? He shows up at the meeting and goes, "We get 64% better ratings on television and thus more exposure if we're playing games on Friday night. That separates us from other conferences. And heaven knows we need to be separated from other conferences." So that's what their plan was to do. And Texas Tech and Iowa State were the only two teams last year in the Big 12 who did not play in a Friday game. And so the Big 12 puts a premium on those Friday night games. So when he said you cannot do it, so here's the actual tweet that it was that fired people up. "Friday night lights are sacred in the great state of Texas." This is Cody Campbell. "It is absolutely absurd that the Big 12 Conference and Fox Sports would consider scheduling Texas Tech football and Houston football on a Friday night on October 18th. I know that Brett Yormark's not a native Texan," shot across the bow, but he's been around long enough. Let me get the full tweet here that he should know better. So, a couple things going on here. Here's the biggest part of this tweet. And Cody Campbell nailed it. He can push and shove all he wants. But he mentioned two things. The Big 12 Conference.
You're not a native Texan.
No, the native Texan part just is to kind of grind it in.
Yeah, that was a shot.
That was just a little of an insult.
Was a shot.
"I don't think you're familiar with how we do things around here. Let me just educate you a little bit on something." Like that is the vibe, right?
Oh, yeah.
"Looks like the city boy over here." It's a Buddy Garrity move. "I don't think anybody's really explained this to you, Brett. I mean, you're from the city, so this stuff's made in New York City." Remember the old Pace Peconic commercials?
I just love how that could really be your accent.
Oh, yeah.
You own that. Like, you could really make
I lived too long in the state of Texas not to pick it up a little bit. And I use it as, if I want to sound official as a high school commentator, I will turn the Texas thing on. But what the most important thing in this whole tweet was he said, "I think it's crazy the Big 12 and Fox Sports would consider scheduling Texas Tech and Houston on a Friday." You really wonder, Cody Campbell, would you take a massive pay cut because of Texas high school football that, by the way, you're not associated with? It's just fun, and it's darn important out here.
And we all saw the movie.
I get it. I've been through Odessa and Midland. I've been through Lubbock. There's not a lot going on out there. And you're right, the city's shut down for Texas high school football. Great. But the country kind of shuts down for college football, right? So don't do this thing where you're like, Texas is different than everybody else. We don't need to play a Friday game. They've been avoiding it. And everybody else has to play these Friday games. And I'll tell you right now, coaches don't love them. They don't love them. You got a short week, typically to prep, and against a big-time opponent like Houston's going to be good next year again. So I see why they're both putting their elbows out. You know what I'm saying? Like
both Texas teams.
I know that they're both not. I know Cody Campbell and Brett Yormark, and Brett Yormark just said plainly right after that, Cody Campbell, quote, "Cody Campbell does not run the Big 12. That's it. And that's all he needs to say. He told that to the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. So there you go.
I mean, yeah, and that's why you hired Brett Yormark, right? To look out for the Big 12, to make them have the ultimate spotlight and get more viewerships and get more money, and that's exactly what he's doing. Of course, the numbers say it. We do better on Friday nights. Texas Tech, you just won the Big 12 the last year. Let's put you against a quality opponent on Friday night. It makes sense. Now, the high school football aspect, I mean, everybody who knows anything about Texas understands that football is life.
I get it.
Right?
I remember going to my older brother's games and shutting it down. We moved by the time it was time for me to play varsity high school football in the state of Texas. We'd already moved to Seattle, which, by the way, they did not
do it the same.
It was not at a premium as much as the other ones. And so when that happened, they shut the town down, and you traveled. You met in the parking lot at the Walmart, and you had a train of people following all the way to the next town.
It's a real thing, folks.
It's real.
It's not just the movies.
And it is phenomenal. But guess what? Anybody who knows, and if you're playing a game and Texas Tech is playing and your kid's on that team, you don't care about high school football that weekend. I get it. Texas is special, but not so special that you have to take revenue away from the conference and Fox. They won't let that happen. And then not too special to be able to say other teams have to play Fridays, but not you guys because you're in the state of Texas. That's not the way to do it.
Here's the thing. Does Cody Campbell, is he validated from being able to speak on the behalf of other Texans?
He has more power than most people do. Big-time donors aren't regents of the university that they're donating to.
Right.
And so that's the difference. Napolis, you look like you're pissed about something. You going to stand up for Cody Campbell?
No, but Cody Campbell has fired back.
Oh, we have an update.
Oh, please read it off like the traffic reports.
I can't wait. I'm drooling at the mouth for this stuff because then.
See, it's April, baby. News.
This is not.
Let's go.
This is not part of April. This is desperation. We wouldn't even be talking about this if there were actual football games being played this weekend. All right, what was the response?
Cody Campbell has tweeted, apparently Brett didn't get the memo. In all caps, everything runs through Lubbock. Maybe we should bring the tortillas back.
Oh. Shut it down.
I
try to cancel our tortillas down here. Oh, I love it.
Everything runs through Lubbock is
talk smack. Everybody wants
hilarious.
The MVP race in the NBA.
It's
Everybody
hilarious.
talking smack and standing up for themselves.
Look, I get it.
Stand up business, Campbell.
I get it. They just won the Big 12 championship, right? And everybody knows they're kind of the standard right now of recruiting people from other schools to be able to play at your school and paying them millions of dollars. I get it. They're playing the game and they're doing it well.
They have a multi-million-dollar backup quarterback.
I do love the threat. Yormark's just like, bring it on. There's more revenue for us. We're just going to keep it coming. Throw your tortillas. It's like a $250,000 fine on the second offense of tortilla throwing.
He'll pay it.
It's not, of course, it's not about whether or not he got the memo. Cody Campbell is a businessman. He really does know what the reality is. That college football's partner is not the community that they're in. Hate to break it to you. College football's real partner are the television networks.
It's for him to actually call out Fox at the same time.
I can't believe that Fox would do this. You really can't? They're out to make money.
You think they care about your feelings,
right,
Cody?
You didn't want to take a haircut on some deals, I bet. You made exactly the amount of money that you knew was out there, and this is what Fox is doing. And from an exposure standpoint, it's also no brainer. You get more exposure on a Friday night.
I love it.
All right.
I love it. I want more drama before the season starts. I hope he carries in the training camp.
I'm going to hit refresh on this tweet chain for the next hour and a half.
Oh yeah, because
right.
Brett ain't going to give it. He ain't going to stop.
Look, I am fascinated with what Mr. Yormark is going to do in response because it's going to be some reference to the tortillas again. And maybe it'll be a little cute response. Like these guys don't play. They don't play nice if they don't have to. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got a top 10 next. Don't miss it. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, Give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I've seen Tears for Fears in person. They were at the tail end of their heyday. Still love me some Tears for Fears, though. That's one of those bands that my older siblings influenced me on. Listened to a lot of Depeche Mode, a lot of Erasure, a lot of Tears for Fears. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You had a wild childhood.
My 80s emo music. This isn't emo.
Emo music? This ain't emo.
No. I know, but Depeche Mode could get a little bit
dark.
Yeah, I mean, anyway. I think it was just dark in my sister's room. That's what it was. She's the emo. Sorry. Not Depeche Mode. She was. Love you.
Don't spend a lot of time with your sisters.
Okay. I've got in front of me, because we were just talking about money and alumni and richest, people that have the most.
I just need a little bit.
Just give me just a tiny bit of that, would you? I have in front of me, across all the universities of this fine land of ours, these are here in the U.S., not that you would know any universities outside of the U.S. that have this. Universities ranked by the ultra wealthiest alumni, top 10 schools.
What do you mean, alumni?
So, like the most very, very, very rich people.
Not like donating to the school. They're just net worth.
Yes,
of the
that's right.
Is
so which is of
Stanford
course
tops that list. I know it.
You have to get the timer out. If you don't blow your answers on.
I'm not blowing. I'm
Annapolis,
I'm
you ready?
Time. You're the one slowing
down. Hit the old
down
timer.
here.
Let's go. On your mark. Get set. Go.
Stanford.
Ding.
Texas. Ohio State.
Wait, did you say Texas?
Texas. Ohio State. Notre Dame. Alabama.
Hang out more.
UCLA.
Harvard.
Ding.
UCLA.
Hang out more in that vibe. UCLA.
UCLA's not on the list?
No. USC?
UNLV.
UNLV, come on.
UMass.
Hold on. No, but there is a mass, but what is it?
A mass? Other than UMass?
You got to be more along the lines of Harvard, my guy.
Penn.
Ding.
Columbia.
Dartmouth.
Ding.
Dartmouth.
Hold on. Dartmouth.
Cornell.
Colgate.
Brown.
Cornell. Colgate.
Booth.
Did you say Brown?
Booth.
Nope.
Tennessee. Florida.
Yale.
North Carolina.
Ding for Yale.
North Carolina.
Okay, there are only on this top 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was a sports show. I thought you were going to talk about, like, sports universities.
It's all the Ivies.
They have sports.
Yeah, you stay in the Ivy League.
What was I supposed to do, take them off the list? I'm not going to count the Ivy Leagues because they're... Come on. All right, in the top 10, there are only 2 Power 4 universities represented.
That should have been a disclaimer.
And it doesn't mean that they would be successful at football at all. Northwestern is number 6 on the list.
Wow.
Go Wildcats.
Wow.
And number 10 on the list, just sneaking in, Cal. There you go.
Berkeley?
Oh, yeah. One of the best
you said
public
Stanford
institutions
is on
in the-
that list, right?
Stanford's number 3, yes, you got it. Okay. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. When we return, Eric Spyropoulos covers the Jazz for NBA.com. He'll join us next, give us some insight into the last 5 games of this Jazz season. Stay here, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
What time is it?
Your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jokic throws an outlet pass right to Sensima. He scoots it to Sheedway. Oscar dunks. It's a 6-point game. And David Adelman needs another timeout. Jump pass to Chandler. Chandler penetrates, attacks Jokic, lays it up and in. 10-point game. Jazz aren't going away. Chandler steals Jokic's inbound and lays it up and in. Jazz aren't going away. Offensive rebound, Conchar kicks Dembele. Top to Sensabaugh, off his tippy toes, fires the three, tickles the twine.
Beautiful basketball.
99-93 assist Bezembeng. Leaves behind for Chandler, sets his feet, lets it rip, swirls out, offensive rebound Conchar, out to Bryce, drives with the right hand, attacks Valanciunas, scoops and scores, wrapping the right hand around the 7-foot monster. He put it up and in, and the Jazz within 4.
You're locked into JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. JJ's out of town. Alex Kirry in this seat. Sly Sylvester, former Pittsburgh Steeler and Utah Ute, sitting in this chair next to me. And we have some Jazz to talk about. We did at the top of the show. Talked a little bit about that game last night, which, by the way, this Jazz team, I mean, they could have this Nuggets team's number, I feel like, easily next year. If they kind of already partway had it, I feel like this year, I was like,
with
what is
nobody playing?
The last 2 games against the Nuggets, I'm like, what is going on with this team? Man, you don't have to pretend like you don't want to win, Jokic, by almost not winning. Come on, man.
Still had a triple-double.
Jamal Murray's half-court shot was pretty cool, though. It's pretty fun. Yeah. We're going to get going here because we're going to kick this thing off. It's the top of the show. We've got Eric Spyropoulos, covers the Jazz for NBA.com. Let's get going right here. Some official music to introduce him.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Trajan Wealth brings you this portion of the program. TRAJAN Wealth.com. It's Trajan Wealth for all of your trusted needs in retirement. Eric, thanks for being with us, man. 5 games left, my guy. Come on, let's get through this.
Yeah, it'll be over before we know it, really.
We're looking forward to it but we seem to be having the same conversation every night about how I think how great it is that these younger guys are getting the minutes that they are. And I know that logging minutes in the NBA, however you do it, is just so overwhelmingly important. I can only imagine that Will Hardy knows how difficult this type of situation is, but also you cannot replace the minutes in the NBA like these guys are getting.
Yeah, definitely not. And Will said pretty much just that last night, both before and after what was another good effort against the Denver Nuggets in, basically talking about how there's a lot of guys that the Jazz are trying to develop almost at the same time, which can be hard to do. But the other thing he's talked about this season is that the locker room has not cannibalized with all these guys, trying to compete with one another for those development opportunities. It's all kind of happening seamlessly within the Jazz system, and they're giving good effort. They're competing against some playoff teams. And like you said, they're getting valuable, 30-plus minutes a night going up against some of the best in the league. And although things will certainly look different for the Jazz next season, and these young guys won't have, maybe the same type of role, the same number of minutes, the opportunities are there for development, and then the development, can take another step in a different way next season and help the team when they're competing for the playoffs.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Hardy has his press game speech every single time at this point. I know he's eager for the offseason and pushing forward to straight positivity and knowing that, they're now going for winning after this. But from your eyes, you're close with the Jazz. You see it every night, and there's so much to be taken from the losses and the growth, as you just said, that, the team hasn't cannibalized itself. These guys are getting valuable time, and it's very hard to do with so many. How have you seen the growth of some of these players going out? We were kind of talking earlier about Flip and Cody and like who's actually made the biggest jump on the team, outside of Keontae. But from your opinion of these younger guys, how has that development gone, and what do you foresee in the offseason?
Yeah, I think you can point – I think that the positive is that you can point to with each of the Jazz young players, to certain things that have been areas of growth. Bryce Sensabaugh still has become a really good, consistent scorer, even though he isn't shooting the three as well as last year, and that's because he's shooting his best percentage inside the arc and around the rim. Kyle Filipowski, has been shooting less threes this year in terms of, his volume, but he's been more decisive in terms of when to attack inside the arc and is still providing that playmaking. I think the two guys you're probably most excited about in terms of their development and just their potential, ability to impact the Jazz moving forward are Ace Bailey, obviously, which is, he's been the talk of the past month, and Cody Williams. I think Cody Williams has had a really, really strong second half of the season. He's been, hitting jumpers in the mid-range. He's been more aggressive as a scorer. He's been a really good cutter. He had a career-high 9 assists last night. And defensively, he's got the length and the athleticism to make life difficult for opposing guards, especially. And Ace Bailey, his March was, a breakout month for him. Averaged over 19 points a game, shot 40% from three on a high volume. He continues to do all the little things that people, coming into the season didn't necessarily expect him to do. Cutting, offensive rebounding, defensively, he's been really good around the rim recently. So I think if you're looking at those two specifically, considering how valuable wings are in today's NBA and two-way play, you have to be really excited about the growth and development from Ace Bailey and Cody Williams.
Eric, when you see these guys and they are getting those minutes, and then you look and see what the roster could look like next season, and everybody's trying to guess what a starting lineup would look like. But obviously in the type of draft that the Jazz are hoping for is that they're picking the best talent available still, and not just obviously not by by just a position. But if it were a perfect world, what player matches up with being one of the best in the draft and a position that the Jazz actually do need to make sure that they shore up for next year?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And like you said, I think always drafting for talent, especially when you're at the top of the draft, continues to make the most sense. But, if you're looking at next year's roster, at least as it looks right now, obviously things can change with free agency or trades. I think you're looking at a Jazz roster that should have a pretty deep front court. Starting, potentially Lowry Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler. Kyle Filipowski has been playing both spots in the front court. Maybe a Yusuf Nurkic re-signs. Guys like Ace Williams and Ace Bailey and Cody Williams, can play on the wing. And so you're looking at some potential backcourt needs. Obviously Keontae had a breakout season. Isaiah Collier had a good sophomore campaign, kind of change of pace guard off the bench. But if you're looking at the top of the draft in terms of a guy like Darren Peterson, who could come in and be that two guard of the future, next to a Keontae George, I think you'd have to feel really excited about that fit. On the same hand, AJ Debanta, he is a similar wing type who is a bigger guy, probably more of a front court player, but with that kind of perimeter skill set offensively, that's something that Will Hardy would certainly be able to fit into the system as well.
Yeah, but that's size, right? And you say you have AJ playing the two, and you have that big front court with Jaren, Walk, and Markkanen, and then you bring in an AJ. I'm always interested exactly how it goes. Of course, you don't know which pick you're going to get with your lottery, but once you do get it, I think the top 7 picks in this draft are going to be quality guys.
That's what they say
from the boozers, but or just other people around. It's very interesting to where the Jazz would go with this. Is there a potential bad pick, right? Is there getting too many front court guys? Is there, you just labeled a couple guys of re-signing Nurkic. You got Flip that could potentially be coming off the bench, and 6'7". What type of rotation is the Jazz going to have to work with compared to they get the 5th spot in the draft and the top players are a boozer, and so they're increasing that. How does that look for the Jazz?
I think they're in an interesting position where, depending on where the pick lands, how the board and draft night plays out will kind of dictate, I think, their decision. The top 3 or 4 is kind of a consensus at this point with AJ, Darren Peterson, Cameron Boozer, and then Caleb Wilson out of North Carolina. Once you get past pick 4, you enter this kind of guard-heavy range. And so I think if the Jazz do end up with anywhere from the 5th to the 8th pick, just by how things will likely play out on draft night in terms of who gets selected before their pick, they likely are looking at one of those guard options that have been kind of mocked in the top 10. But if you landed a pick 2, a pick 3, you will have a choice to make. And in some cases, maybe, it might be better to have your choice made for you in a way in these kind of situations. But given Will Hardy's offensive system and just where the NBA is today, with not necessarily focused on position, but more importantly, the skill set of players, it's hard to say that they could make a bad choice, regardless of if they take someone like a Cam Boozer, who in theory, yes, will play probably a power forward position in the NBA, but you're really looking at how does his skill set fit in with other guys. Right. Larry Markin is 7 feet tall, but he's more of a perimeter player. He plays a lot of small forward because of his skill set. And so I think because of that and where the league is today, it's hard for the Jazz to make, what would be considered a bad pick in this year's draft position-wise.
Let's say that they run down the Kings. They catch up to the Kings in the other direction, obviously. Getting to that fourth spot would obviously guarantee that they wouldn't convey. But as it is, and wherever they end up, if the numbers really played out like they would, I'll pretend like the other stuff hasn't happened in years past that have just been absolutely crazy results from the lottery. If it just plays out kind of from a numbers game and the Jazz are picking fourth, fifth-ish, is there any possibility that the Angels and Jay-Z would get wild and throw down some crazy stuff to get that first pick?
I mean, you can never rule out anything, especially with Danny Ainge's history of trading, especially with draft picks. I think in this draft, considering that as of right now, from all the reporting, there isn't necessarily a strong consensus on who the number one pick will be. I think AJ and Darren Peterson have kind of probably been, mocked a little bit more often at number one, right. But considering how close, the top three or even some cases, top four, mm-hmm. It just almost might depend on who would get that pick on lottery night. And also, the Jazz still have some additional draft picks in their ledger, and obviously they have a lot of young players on the roster, but they did use a couple of those draft picks to get Jaren Jackson Jr., and so you would be kind of having to evaluate how much do you believe in player X to move up to get them, and at what price it would take. We have seen also Danny Ainge do a draft night trading down from the first overall pick, yes. In that Jason Tatum draft, and that worked out really well for him and the Boston Celtics. So there could be a scenario where the Jazz get lottery luck and potentially evaluate options to move down if they think that the guy that they like will still be there at a later pick.
Yeah, and I think that works for them, right? If the consensus isn't super strong at one, and a team could take it or leave it with maybe they like Darren Peterson more than AJ DeMonte, but they know the Jazz maybe want him, and so they could get something out of him. But if the Jazz really want that guy and they want to go after him, if teams are kind of like, yeah, I mean, he's really, really good, but we could take three guys and feel pretty good about it, there might be a better option for him there. But these last 5 games, lots on the road, 4 on the road and 1 at home with Memphis. How do these 5 games shake out? Because it's always interesting to see what teams like OKC, obviously, who are not going to have to be firing on all cylinders for the rest of that actual season. Although I know they want to win and probably get that number 1 overall seed, but are there any teams possibly shutting it down maybe over that last week as they get ready, or the last 2 weeks as they head into the offseason? And how do the Jazz fare in these last 5 games?
Yeah, I mean, it's always an interesting question. I think with playing Houston, tomorrow night, the Rockets are in a pretty intense battle for playoff positioning, right? Right now they're in the 5th seed. They're only a half game up on 6, and they're 1.5 games behind the Nuggets at 4. So, you have to think that the Rockets are going to keep pushing for it. Like you said, Oklahoma City, they might start selectively resting guys, but they are still, holding off the Spurs, who are 2 games behind them for the number 1 seed in the conference. That can make a difference in a potential Western Conference Finals series. Then you look at a matchup against New Orleans, who has not been shutting guys down because they don't own their first-round draft pick this year because of the draft night trade last year. Yep. And so they've been continuing to play their guys and have been going for wins. And, Memphis is a team that has been, essentially just kind of focusing all on the young guys, getting guys minutes, similar to what the Jazz have been doing. And so that'll be a matchup between 2 squads that have really lengthy injury reports. And then the Lakers – on the last night of the regular season will be interesting because they are also right now in the 3rd seed, but only 1.5 games above the Nuggets, right, who have won 7 straight. So maybe by next Sunday that could be decided, in which case they would rest all their guys. But the other wrinkle of this is that with the add-in of the play-in tournament, all those teams that aren't in the play-in tournament do get that week off until the playoffs start the following weekend. So some teams have kind of approached it differently in recent years.
Eric Spyropoulos, he covers the Jazz for NBA.com, and he does a phenomenal job. Spyro, appreciate it, man. Thanks for being with us, and we'll talk to you hopefully when before the very, very end of the season so we can get kind of the full rundown here. But we appreciate you joining us, man.
Thanks. Anytime, guys.
There you go.
Yeah, man. I think the end of this NBA season is going to be interesting. I really do love the last race as you enter the playoffs, man. You see the teams that are fighting for actual positions. It's not as set as more people would have it, and normally it's not even determined until that last game is actually played, from play-in tournament spots to third and fourth positions or fourth and fifth positions in the playoff seeding, man. So going to be interesting versus exactly what he said, from the top teams that are like, look, I still am fighting for first place. I'm only a game or two games away from the Spurs, so I got to make some things happen, versus the Jazz are like, just beat me, please. Just beat the brakes off me and send me home. And so, yeah, I think the end of the season is going to be extremely interesting in the NBA.
All right. Before I was looking at this and I was wondering about what the so that's real then. If they finish with the same record, they'd toss a coin. Now that's why I love April. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking forward to in April. I guess it would be in May. Dang it.
Oh, God.
But still, I thought, but maybe the coin flip happens at the very end of the season. Come on. Let's do it.
No lottery luck for the Jazz, but maybe the coin flip will give them a little bit of luck.
Listen.
What other sports had the coin flip?
Oh,
was that? No, I think that's
did the Pac-12 did the Pac-12 have to do it that one year?
If
Utah?
you have a tie, we looked at it too for the Big 12 tiebreakers.
It was like the fifth choice for like all the way down. If this is this, if they're still tied by the fifth that no one ever gets down to, then they'd toss the coin.
Hey, man, I still think we should go back to the Westerns and do a draw. 10 steps and pull.
Brick killed a guy.
I did with the trident.
It turns into that. It's like, how'd your lottery go?
One of our guys had to bite
Justin
the dust.
Zanuck killed a guy. That's how we got that's how we moved up in the lottery.
His sacrifice will be remembered.
Yay. All right. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, and when we do, we have ourselves a couple things to still jam on this hour, but more importantly, we've got a best and worst you don't want to miss later on in the program. We've also got some chat about the Mammoth, of course, who are firing up against the Kraken tonight over these very airwaves. So stay with us. More to go. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.
Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the biggest name. You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for being with us on the program. The Mammoth are taking on the Kraken tonight. And I watched the Kraken play. Oh, who was it the other night? I've been watching so much dang hockey. I'm a sicko because I'm going across the league now. I'm popping between games when I get home because there's hockey on every night somewhere during the month of April. And I'm watching all of this, and because I look and I go, all right, I want to see what the Sharks are made of. I want to see what the Kings are made of still. I want to know what you're going to get if the Preds start to run down the Mammoth. And I got a boost of confidence from Mike Folta today in our interview. You go back and listen to Mike Folta.
Right.
And he goes, the thing is all those teams you just mentioned, because I'm talking about how, we're talking the Kings. I think the Oilers are going to wrap up, one of those top spots in the Pacific. But again, it's not very, that doesn't mean anything. They're not very good. It's not that they're not very good. That's not what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the divisions, like where everybody's fighting it out, including the Central Division, where you have 3 teams over 100 freaking points almost. Then you have the Pacific, where the top team has 86 or whatever it is, or 87. And that's a wild card spot for everybody else in the league. And so when Mike Folta said, yeah, but all the teams you just mentioned, I'm not afraid. I don't think the Mammoth, and afraid is the wrong word. The Mammoth would be favored in all of those matchups except for a couple of them where they're just right now kind of 50-50. And so as the wild card team playing supposedly the top of the Western or the Pacific Division in the West, and so I'm supposed to go, yeah, but that's the thing is that they've been playing in a tougher division all year, as evidenced by going 0-4 against the Blackhawks.
Oh my gosh!
Isn't that you guys?
Is that evidence?
You want to know something?
Or just
you want to know something?
Crap luck.
Go 3-1 against the worst team in your conference or in your division,
and you're still up there.
And you would have they would have 88 points right now, and they would be basically guaranteed to stay at that wild card 1 spot.
Right.
So right now the odds are still really, really good for them. But you have to win in Seattle tonight. And the Kraken right now, and I was looking at what it looks like because they're playing in Seattle for the first time in 2.5 weeks. They were on the longest road trip.
Yeah, since March 17th.
And gosh, that is such a long time. And I wonder if they're going to get if they're going to get a boost from being at home. Obviously, you like playing at home more. You like being in your own barn. But I'm telling you, going to see how this one's going to match up. I'm just trying to look at what the spread would be if you even have that. The Mammoth are 2-0 against the Kraken this year.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fighting, man. They're only 4-5-1 in their last 10 games. They got to be there, man. They got to get more than that. But Barrett Hayton's still out with the upper body injury for the Mammoth, and the Kraken are coming into this thing with a couple injuries as well. Shane Wright and Ryan Winterton are both not going to be playing for the Kraken. So at the end of all of this, man, the Mammoth need this win. The Vancouver Canucks look like a gimme. Except for after the trade deadline, they've been playing pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Certainly compared to what they were. Like I said, last night I'm watching this game, and again, it's just one game, but they are playing the best team in all of hockey at their place. They're playing them in Colorado. They're at Ball Arena. And they score first, and then then the Avalanche come right back and score within 24 seconds. And I was like, all right, here we go. And then they just kept scoring. The game ends 8-6.
In favor of the Canucks.
And the Canucks put 8 goals in. 7 of them were against Blackwood, I think.
On the team with the biggest point differential.
90,
massive.
90 goals above all of their opponents this year. After that, it's 38.
It's 45, I think.
45. And it's, guess what? Yeah. The other team in this division, too. It's the Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's wild to see all these teams. I'm interested to see what version of this Mammoth team, because I think they're going to start feeling that crunch, and you're going to see these games, and they're going to look and go,
well, that's the biggest thing, too.
We have to have these. You have to get Seattle. You have to get Vancouver. Please, because that would feel so much better for Mammoth fans to be like, okay, they got 6 points in the last 2 nights. If that's the case, they're at 88.
Yeah.
And you're feeling a lot better about it.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing too, and I wonder if that narrative's going through the locker room of, we're 0-3, and is that what Folta said? 0-3 after 4 days rest, before another game. Counting.
Hate that.
And so are you thinking about that? Or like for me, you're an athlete, like you're like, okay, we got to make an end of the season push here.
Right.
And so I needed that little rest. Now I feel refreshed. Now I'm going to go out there and understand the moment. The moment is we got to go right now. And so is that going to be the Mammoth tonight and then Saturday against the Canucks, and in this last 8-game stretch. And so, it's going to be extremely interesting. I'm excited to see how the Mammoth take this, because I can't. Folta was just like, cash it in. Let's go to Vegas. The Mammoth are definitely in the playoffs, so I can't wait to see a playoff game here at the Delta Center barn. And it's
you're
just
gonna bring your
awesome.
you're gonna bring your special jersey you had embroidered just for you.
Oh, yeah, of course. Why would I wear anything else? Might wear 2 of them so I can switch it at the period.
What number did you get?
It's funny. My black one's 55, and then my white one's 10. So,
Of course.
Got to represent up in there. But no, man, end of season push is great. Playoff push. I've been a part of sports and that type of excitement. And, just listen to the players and their interviews and how they're getting ready for this and understand the moment. And especially, we talked to these guys the last couple of years, especially the shift from the Arizona Coyotes to coming up here and how important this part of the season is. And when we've interviewed Bill Armstrong and him talking about this is what we've been waiting for. So this is very important in that building. And I think something that they're taking really serious. So I'm looking forward to a great outing by the Mammoth tonight.
Doesn't it feel like a cuss word to say Arizona Coyotes?
It does.
It's weird, right?
I kind of slurred a little bit.
Now, what's interesting is that my sons, they went and got some. We have a collector card shop that showed up that just opened up near us, and they went in and I gave them like $10, and they could buy. It was awesome because they have cards that you can buy that are 1, 2.
You can buy something with $10
3.
these days.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But they have cards across the entire place. They have a little sticker on them, and each sticker represents a price point. And they have a ton of $1 ones. They have a ton of $2 ones. A ton of $3. So you kind of just have to decide what you want to do. They walk straight over to the hockey section, and they're like, I want this veggie one. He's wearing the Coyotes jersey.
Get it.
And I was like, yeah, but a couple of these are rookie ones. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Get it with the Coyotes one. So they did. They walked away with a bunch of that, and I was like, there you go.
Nice.
And,
see, you got to teach value and what it's going to be like here in 10 years.
But like I said, it feels weird to say it. Feels really weird to say. All right, we'll come back. When we return, we have a best and worst for you. Don't want to miss it. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Wrapping up the hour with our picks for the best and worst moments on today's show. As JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
All right, best and worst right here on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Okay, best and worst goes like this. Here's the best. And the amount of AI/photoshopped images of this just make me happy. Kirk Cousins has agreed to a 1-year contract with the Raiders where he could potentially be mentoring Fernando Mendoza, who is likely the first pick in the draft, and the Raiders are currently odds-on favorite to pick in the draft. Both men of God, okay? Both might kill you with their smile. Both the nicest people in the world. Both have no business in the black and silver, necessarily.
Lloyd would beg to differ.
What I love about these is all the pictures that everybody AI'd with this thing. Is that a verb, by the way? I just AI'd it.
Should be.
Max Crosby's in there with them, and they like the full body tattoo ones are really great.
Oh, yeah.
They're all drinking like a Four Loko and the full body tattoos. And Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza look like
brothers.
They look like they are brothers. And so it works out great. And like I said, it also looks like they'll come to your house and preach the gospel, right? So
they can play all the roles. I love that for Vegas.
And Lloyd said it too. He's like, I don't know who his agent is, but
it's great.
He got him another guaranteed contract.
That's all you can ask for.
Now, look, the big one was, of course, coming in Atlanta, which didn't work out. He had $100 million guaranteed. They came to him.
It worked out for somebody.
It worked out for his bank account for sure.
I mean, he's definitely not going to have Hall of Fame stats because of injuries and this and that. But like, what he had 180 guaranteed.
I thought it was 100. Either way.
Yeah, and then
it was 180 as a contract, and I think it was at least 110 or something like that guaranteed. So
it's just wild. Anyways, Kirk Cousins is killing it. He's 15, 16 years in the league and still getting $20 million guaranteed.
Are you
contracts.
okay with him mentoring a brand new quarterback in the league, a guy who hasn't had a ton of success?
Well, here's the thing: is I think he's in a different place than he was at Atlanta because I think when they drafted Penix, that wasn't part of the plan, and I don't think that's what he wanted to do. But understanding where he's at in his career and what's happened the past couple of years, I'll take that. I'll take that mentorship, and I'll be the guy. And of course, Tom Brady's gonna be at the focal point of that relationship and exactly what needs to happen. But man, I think it's a great scenario for the Raiders. Not many Raiders fans out here, but for them, all the
There's
free
a ton
agency
of Raider fans out here. Are you kidding?
I mean,
you throw a stick and you hit one of them. They'll murder you after that, but
they'll probably think you're flirting with them. But yeah, I just think the moves that they made in free agency, the things that they're working up to, the team that they have right now, they're doing exactly what they need to do to be, a definite contender, especially in the tough AFC West.
All right, the other best is Curt Cignetti finally responded back to Sonny Dykes going after the now Indiana quarterback Josh Hoover, who is of course at. Do we have the which one? Do we have all of it? Here's the Sonny Dykes one, and I'll tell you how Curt Cignetti responded to it.
Stats are stats, and I think you look for us, and I think Josh started 31 games here as a quarterback, and we turned the ball over 40. He turned the ball over 42 times in those 31 starts.
So obviously, the 55-year-old guy going after the kid who just transferred out, he's not loving it. So are you telling me, Sonny Dykes, that he wouldn't have been the starter for you? Bar none? Okay.
Even with all those turnovers?
I mean, he turned the ball. He, by himself, lost all these games for us. Curt Cignetti came right back at him and said, first of all, I love Josh. He's been awesome so far. He's been great. And he came in and talked about how he's like, yeah, I think we could work on some of the things that he should improve his game on. But I'll tell you what, when he came here to Indiana, he found his two new best friends. This was the best thing I've ever heard. He found his two new best friends, a great defense and an effective run game. So I think he's pretty happy here. So number one, it's old school. Number two, it's a shot back at Sonny Dykes. And what the heck are you going to say to Curt Cignetti, who just took Indy freaking Anna to the gosh dang national championship
16-0,
game, and you won it?
Just got a huge contract, $20 million a year, or $12 million a year.
Oof.
Take that, Dykes.
World Cup tickets, by the way, are they coming down? Those prices coming down? The final.
No, they just went up.
I know. I was laughing at all of our misery not being able to watch a World Cup game. The final tickets, as in the World Cup final.
Holy smokes.
Oh, yeah, you're looking at over 10, 12 grand, like, to get into the building. That's double the average ticket price of a Super Bowl.
Is it like $2,500 for standing room only?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. You gonna go see Messi? Apples? No. Did you touch the World Cup last night, or did you go see it?
No. They had it behind the glass. I did not touch it, unfortunately.
But you saw it in person.
I did see it in person.
In
all of its glory.
Bucket list. Boom.
Top 10 life experience.
And what you do is you go, when I was hanging out with the World Cup. When I was in proximity to the World Cup, I thought a couple things. People were like, but Naples is like, you gonna go see World Cup tonight over at America First Field? I was like, what? The World Cup? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about right now. The trophy. The trophy that Pelé, Maradona, my guy, Messi, all held up. And you got to see it in person. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back. More to go right around the corner. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.